Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today. Kacie Brignell from Kacie rose to present to us on 5 styles of content. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Kacie Brignell.
As you've heard today, I'm going to share with you some 5 styles of content that we can share on social media. So not necessarily just LinkedIn, but you can actually use these styles of content across any social media platform, and look, probably even in things like email marketing and however else you want to market your business. So there is a little piece of paper right in the middle of your table, so you're going to know already what I'm about to speak about. But the reason I've given you this too is I have 10 minutes, so I have a very short amount of time to get through this. I want to share it with you and why they're important. But then also on the back, as beautiful it is, there's just a couple of little spaces that, as I talk through the different styles of content today, if you have an idea for your own business, just jot it down. So the space is there for you. And like anything in business, trial and error is up to you guys. So this is what I use for my clients, but you do need to test and measure yourself. But especially as Brigitte said in the intro as well, creating content for content's sake is a waste of time. At least with these little 5 prompters, it will give you something to focus on and just to get out to the world, and something that's actually going to be meaningful to your ideal connections or referral partners as well. And again, as I said, this can be used on any social media platform. We don't have time today to go into the different styles on how you write within each platform, but writing a piece of content on LinkedIn can vary just a little bit sometimes when you write a piece of content on Facebook. But at the end of the day, if you need brand awareness, just get something out there. If it's the same across all platforms, just to begin with, do that. But every marketing person in here too will say don't make it the same content across all, but to start, just start. The first piece of content that I suggest for everyone to create is the engagement pieces of content. Now these are the simplified versions of content. The easiest way to get engagement is to simply ask a question. And the question can be related to your business, directly to your business, or it could actually be related to something that's happening in the world, like Valentine's Day last week. Do you celebrate Valentine's Day? Yes or no? Why not? The reason for asking such a simple question, even if it is to do with Valentine's Day or Christmas, or if you want to go down the COVID track, by all means go for it. But the reason I'm asking a simple question like that is to literally get that engagement, get some sort of response on that piece of content. Because the second you do, the second you get that like or that comment on LinkedIn, a simple like is enough. But the second you get that, those people are now on your 2-week content train, and they're going to start seeing everything else you put out. I'll explain the 2-week content train a bit later if I have time. But in a nutshell, they're going to see your content for at least the next 2 weeks because they've engaged in at least one piece of content. The other thing too with the engagement posts is they can be a carousel post, you know, the ones where you have to click through. On LinkedIn, they're uploaded as PDFs rather than carousels, but it's the same type of thing. And polls are a really great type of content to put out there to get those answers. Is that all making sense to everyone so far? Cool, awesome. These are some of the simple ones. We all create engagement posts, but to be honest, the shorter the sweeter, the quicker you can get an answer, have a call to action, and your call to action can simply be a question rather than contact us here. So engagement post is not about promoting per se, it's more about just getting the community in your network involved with what you're doing. Cool. The second piece of content I like to share with everyone is an educational post. And this is a little bit similar but also different to the value add. But this again is where when your clients come to you and they say, I've always got questions about this, or they need a guide on how to do something. That's the type of content we can share when it comes to the education. So one of my clients, as an example, was a handyman. His educational piece of content was the 5 tools you need in your toolbox in case of emergencies. Now, he's educating his clients on what they need. He's talking about, something that's obviously highly relevant in his industry and what he does as a service, but he's not telling people exactly how to fix the front door or the lock on the front door. So even for myself, this is like, I say to people, please share, educate on what you know. I could say, you need to create content and give a snip on how to create some content, but not tell you exactly the step-by-step process on all the intricate details. So it's okay to give away that information that you know, because it's showcasing to everyone who's watching you that you know what you're talking about. We're still following? Yeah? Cool. As I said, I'm going to fly through this, but please, if there's any questions or you're really confused, if we have time at the end, great. If not, please come and see me later. I'm more than happy to help anyone and give you guys some suggestions and ideas on how you could each use these styles within your business. The third piece of content, which is probably one of my favorites, is the connection piece. And this is what I find a lot of businesses miss altogether. They're out there promoting what they do, they're adding value in ways and sharing tips and ideas, but they're forgetting to connect with their audience. And this can come down to showing behind the scenes stuff, celebrating team wins, saying thank you to a team member who's actually leaving, appreciate their work. That would be huge for a company to go, unfortunately Mary's leaving us to move on to the next thing, but we are so grateful to have her as part of our team. The response you're going to get on that and the reaction you're going to get on that is probably huge, because as a business, you're now showcasing the personality and the brand and the people and the faces behind that business. Cool? Yeah, just keep checking in because I know I'm going to speak fast. Yeah, and as I said, it is the connections posts are your chance to show the human side of your business. The fourth piece of content is adding value, and as I said, it can be a little bit similar to your educational posts. And this is where, if you guys have FAQs on your websites, just use those. That's your value add. You don't even need to think about how to create the content. It's literally already written for you, or you wrote it for yourself years ago and forgot about it. So with the add value, the how-tos, the do's and don'ts when it comes to something, like if you're going to connect with people on LinkedIn, don't sell to them straight away. Treat them like you would if you come to a networking event. Simple little tips like that. And again, as I said, yeah, it may be similar to the educational side of things, but it's adding value again. So what we've done so far is we've reached out for engagement, we've educated people, we've given them some insight as to, why we know what we know and how we can actually help. We've connected with people with what's happening behind the scenes, with what's happening in our, not necessarily our personal lives, but our business personal lives. And we've added value again, so we've even given again. If anyone knows Gary Vee, you know the book Jab, Jab, Cross. It's like give, then take. In this case, it's 4 gives and then a take, so to speak. And so the fifth piece of content then being is the promotional piece. Now this doesn't have to be a full-on, hey, I'm doing this thing, buy it from me, thank you very much. It could be, I worked with this client and they had a really good result. If you'd like this type of result too, reach out, I'm here for you. So it's still important to do the promotional pieces of content. Now, the 5 styles I've given you, I've actually given it to you in that order for a particular reason. And that being that if you create, and this doesn't have to be every week, like on LinkedIn I say 3 pieces of content per week is enough. So this would actually take you over 2 weeks, roughly. If you have an engagement, an educational, a connection, an add value, and then the promotional post, you're only promoting every 5th time you put something out there on social media, which means you've got a community of people interacting and paying attention to you as you're giving them all this information, that when when you put out the promotional side of things, it's not such a shock. And it's not seen as salesy or sleazy, and it's not like, oh, Casey's posting again, all she does is post promotional stuff. You'll actually be remembered and known that, hey, these people actually know their stuff because they've given us so much to begin with. Now they're asking if I would like them to help me in return. Does that all make sense to everybody? Any questions? I know I'm like at the end already. Any questions around that at all?
Is there a little bit of difference? Because I primarily use Facebook and Instagram, so
Yeah.
I don't have a website because
Yeah.
everything I do is custom and it's just
Yeah, I can't wait to look.
sort of like looking at it later down the track, but it's not as important.
Yeah.
Generally, everything like content-wise that I'm posting, people want to see what I'm doing. They want to
Correct.
see my work. So generally, it's the jobs that I'm doing each week. So
Yeah.
like, complete this, did that, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So I find that I'm already posting 3 or 4 times a week
Yeah.
purely with what I'm doing.
So you could, sorry to cut you off, but I was
No.
going to say you could switch it up a little bit by saying it's important to get the custom job done right, because if
Yeah.
water gets in here or blah, 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 you know,
Yeah.
it's going to cause rust or it's going to overheat. You know, that's why you don't put wrapping around certain parts of the bike.
Yeah, okay.
Things like that.
And that's why you come to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like the amount of stuff that I do is
Yeah.
really hard to pick and choose which ones to post because they're all really
Yeah.
relevant and it's,
And to be fair, what you do is very visual.
Yes.
If you were only to say be on Twitter and show no graphics, people would be like, whatever.
Yeah.
You need to be on the
Yeah.
visual pieces of social media.
I was even thinking for an engagement post, you could even say who already has. Who knows somebody who's got a customised bike, or hands up
Yeah.
who has a customised
I've
post.
had a couple of ones where I've put up things like I want to see the like give me your worst stickers, like show me
Yeah.
the ones that are peeling off,
Yeah.
show me the ones that are all wrinkle that you put on,
Yeah,
and that sort of thing.
or next time you have something that's like a bit left field, right field, whatever the correct terminology is, put it up and go, would you put this on your bike? Yes.
Yeah,
or no?
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
It's just, so what you've got, just simplify and tweak a few things.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. I think that's my 10 minutes. And guys, that's exactly why I gave you that little piece of paper, because I knew I was going to fly through this. As I said, and please talk to any of the other marketing guys in the room too, it is so important to put our business faces out there as well as the promotional side. So the full pieces of content prior to the promotional side of things will really help you pick up your engagement. Unfortunately, a lot of people look but don't touch when it comes to social media. So when it comes to, in my opinion, when it comes to your vanity metrics, like your likes and comments, focus on the views. Have a look at how many people are actually looking at your content, because they might just be watching in the background. So, thank you.
Thank you so much.